name is Richard Smith. I enlisted in the United States Air Force October 12th, 1948. And I went to school in Shepherd Air Force Base for aircraft and engine training, and after that to Illinois. I was helping Dad in the barn when we heard this terrible racket, an engine running and quitting and running and quitting, and I ran out of the garage or the barn, and a Mustang flew overhead, and he was really sick. That engine was just ready to go, and so I took off on a run and followed where he went, and I found him in a field. He landed it in perfect shape, no damage, and I talked to him to make sure he was all right, and he said that there was a bunch of men coming in a truck. They were going to try and fix it, and so we sat there for over an hour out in the field, in the grass, talking and chatting and so forth, and when the mechanics got there, they went to work on it, and within an hour's time they had it fixed and were leaving, and he turned that thing around and took off on me. And I said to myself, I told the officer that was flying the plane, I said, that's what I want to do when I go into the service. And so that's where I ended up, aircraft engine mechanic. When I got out over there to Japan, I was stationed in Kisarazu, and we took anything that came into the base and repaired it. And then we started taking the stuff from the aircraft carrier that was bringing aircraft in from the States and readying them for airworthiness and waiting for pilots to come get them. We were in a hangar, and they came in and they locked all the doors with us in there and said they were going to bring an airplane in there that they wanted fixed and ready to fly from Japan to the United States. And I said, all right, we'll work on it. And they pulled the thing in there, and there was a big transport, and so we went to work on it. It took us 30 hours, and they locked the doors and wouldn't let us out until we got it fixed. And they brought us meals and everything, but sleep was just something you didn't get. But it was General MacArthur's plane, and he'd been fired by Harry Truman, and he was on his way home, and this was the plane that he used when he flew around down there in the Far East. And, so we fixed the plane, got it ready, and did a lot of work on it, and declared it airworthy, and went back to the barracks. They said, well, you could have the rest of the day off. And so we showered and got into our fresh uniforms and lay down on the bunk, and I was almost ready to sleep. And they said, they come in, you have a blue uniform? Yes, sir. Okay, he says, get it, put it on, and get ready to go to Tokyo. I said, for what? We just got off a job. He said, they're going to fly him out of there, and they want an honor guard. So he says, bring your gun with you. And we had those little carbines, and so we piled into the trucks, and they took us in there, and they stationed us 6 feet apart on the runway, on both sides of the runway. And there we stood at attention with a rifle in our hands, and well, that big plane soared down that runway and took off. So they said, you were the honor guard for General MacArthur when he left us. They taught me a lot. The 4 years just went by so fast. My wife didn't think so. She was back here in the States, and I was over there for 19 months, and she didn't like it. Well, actually I didn't, but I enjoyed it. It was something doing every day. I was very proud. I really hated to leave the service, but jet engines weren't my book, and so I got out. I went to college, became a school teacher, and that was my life's work right there.